Do I dare say I feel a little sweat behind the back of my knee? Wow. Haven't felt like that for quite a few weeks. Here's that same plastic bag. And I want this flat. In fact, I don't have to use that same area. I can just flip it over. And then push down on it where the bristles on your paintbrush are. Okay, there. That's going to be nice and supple, nice and wet and moist for next time I need to use that. Found my gloves, so look at these things. I've done a number on them for this whole project. When I get done with this project, I'm gonna throw those away finally and grab myself some other ones. Not bad using the rubber gloves. I didn't used to wear rubber gloves all the time, but it actually works out. It protects your hands. Look at that, see, it wants to drag. I think I did that for your benefit. Once you put it on there, and you get it as good as you think, leave it alone. You can fix it on your next coat, right? Right. Then on my next coat, if I feel I need to build it up some more, I can put some more tape down, can't I? I can put some more of the white tape down. I can put some yellow tape down. I can build that up a little bit more. I can use my putty knives the next go, and then once I know where I want to stop, the last bit I can use my paintbrush. You know, after I get the next coat built up, then I can use my paintbrush and kind of brush it all in. Be done with it. All right, tick tock, let that dry now, at least so it's tacked up on the top before we put on the next coat. You know what, this has only been on for a few minutes, and I think I should have used my 10-inch knife. I'm gonna try to go over this in one go. It's wanting to drag, but it's flattening it. It's flattening it out. I think that might have been a good idea that I did that. That way there's no high spots on there. Okay, I guess I can live with that until the next go round. Okay. I'll make sure I use that for the next bit, huh? Last thing I want is for it to get too high before I put the next coat on, because I won't be able to kind of knock it down, because this is like rubbery when it dries, you know? So remember that. Okay. Dare go over this anymore. Alright, I'll leave it there. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. think. Jeez. Every time I look at it, I see another little high spot. There's one more little spot right in there. Okay. Let it dry. Let it dry. Well, the sun is slowly going off of this floor, and it's only been an hour or so, and I can tell that it's drying up. But if I push on there just a little bit, I can see my fingerprint on there, so there's no way I can put another coat on here in the next couple hours. Once the sun gets off of here, it's going to take that much longer to dry all the way. So I may not be able to, probably won't be able to put any more on until tomorrow in the morning. That way I can check it with my level and all that. If there were any high spots on it, I could almost push them down with my finger. There's really not. I'm not going to really mess with that. And you know what I'm going to do? I just tied this back on, and I just put more water on there. I'm going to keep that on there for probably a week. And I'm going to see if any of this water will go through this Tyvek paper within a week. Before it was just a day, right? Well, I'm going to keep it on there. This time I dried out the bucket inside, and I can keep it right there and let it set. I have a feeling I'm going to be working on this for a few days to get this right, and then we'll do another water test and do all that kind of stuff. And I want to get this, like I said, a lot better than what it was before I go to the next step on this floor. Okay, thanks for joining me. Well, it's the next morning. I'm going to keep working on this. I'm not going to show you every single time I attempt to continue to float this, but this is after yesterday. It's all nice and dry now. Got my level on there. Look how flat I got it. See underneath there? I got that pretty flat, didn't I? But when I look at the level, wow, it's pretty close, isn't it? See, for that to be level, I'd have to raise up the right hand side ever so slightly, about like that, and that's hardly anything. That's basically level at that point. And if I go from here to there, I'd have to raise this side up. See how far I could raise it? Right about like that. That gives me almost 1/8 of an inch, which means, what does that mean? That means if I wanted this water to come down here, and instead of hitting a flat spot and then going out, see there? I could raise this side up on the level less than a 1/16, and that'll still make it slope off to the right. And even if it was a 1/16 higher here, it'll still slope down this way to this point, won't it? So that's what I'm going to work on I'm gonna raise this side up just a hair and try to taper it on down. So I'm not gonna build this up real high, but enough to where I can still get this to kind of slope out a little bit more. And see, I've got a dip here. I don't necessarily have to fill this all in, because if water hit here, if water was right here, it doesn't necessarily have to jump over this to get to here to go this way, because if the water's there, this area slopes down to the right anyways. Let's see here. At that point, I would have to raise this side up about, you know, 1/16 of an inch. See? From that point, and water over there, see how that slopes there? Look at that. That's because this plate, this was where the 2x6 wall is. I went ahead and chiseled that out with my 1-inch chisel from that top on down this way. I made it down about 3/8, and then I kind of tapered it up to about there. You'll see, if I put my level over here, it's gonna slope down this way. I see my bubble. To make it level, I'd have to raise this left in side up to there. I got a good 3/16 to 1/4. And that's how I made this whole thing. This here, I've floated that down at an angle too, see? So the idea is where the water is here, it's going to come across that way. See my bubble there? I'd have to raise this left-hand side way up over 1/4 because I floated this up. And everything, got everything going downhill. This is going downhill, see? That's the floor. That's 3/16 to 1/4 in 2 feet. And that's just following the natural flow out of here from where they built this before. Okay? So they've got the right slope on it. It's just, I've got to work in this area a little bit more. And that's what I aim to do today. Get in here early this morning. It's 9 o'clock. It's nice and sunny out here on the deck, and it'll give me some time to put a little bit on here, and then after it dries I can check it, and it'll give me a little bit of time to do a little bit more if I need to. So that's what I'm gonna continue to work on. And just so you know, I'm doing another water test. Yes. See the water here? I put this on there after I did the test the other day, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to be out here for several more days. I've got other things to do other than floating that out. And I'm just going to let that sit on that bucket, and I'm going to see if I can let it go a week and see if any of that water penetrates in there. One day was a good test. A week's worth of a test with this water to see if any goes down through here. That's going to be the ultimate test to see if that Tyvek paper will hold that water for a week, even though there's microscopic little holes in this to make it breathable. It's got to be, you know, they claim it's a water barrier and it's breathable. They don't recommend putting this on the floor They only recommend, as far as I know, they recommend putting it on the walls only when you're installing brand new framing and stuff. I don't think you put that on roofs. I've seen something like that they put on roofs, but man, if you put that on a roof, you'd have to be so careful when you're walking up there because it's going to slip all over the place. Okay, so I am going to be working on this some more today.